हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू टेस्टबुक सुपर कोचिंग फॉर रेगुलेटरी बॉडीज एंड पीआईबी के सेशन में आप सबका स्वागत है। सो इन दिस सेशन वीकली पीआईबीज जो मेन न्यूज थी, मेन इंपॉर्टेंट जितनी भी न्यूज थी उन सबको हम लोग इस सेशन के अंदर कवर करते हैं। सो ये वीकली एवरी मंडे इवनिंग 6 PM को ये सेशन होता है। तो इसी पीआईबी के सेशन में आप सबका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। तो शुरू करते हैं, आज की कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट न्यूज के ऊपर बात करेंगे। आज की मींस द लास्ट वीक में जो भी इंपॉर्टेंट पीआईबी की न्यूज थी वो सारी की सारी इस सेशन में हम आपके साथ डिस्कस करेंगे। बिफोर मूविंग फॉरवर्ड, आगे बढ़ने से पहले दोस्तों, जिन्होंने अभी तक हमारे इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया होगा तो एक बार प्लीज जल्दी से चैनल को भी सब्सक्राइब कर दीजिएगा। ओके, तो आई विल स्टार्ट विद द सेशन की शुरुआत करते हैं। एंड फर्स्ट थिंग वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस इंपॉर्टेंट न्यूज, एंड द फर्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट न्यूज इज जॉब एट योर डोर स्टेप रिपोर्ट बाय द वर्ल्ड बैंक। Recently, World Bank created one report focusing on India, especially few states of India, and the name of the report is Jobs at Your Doorstep. This report is being published by, or this report is being presented in front of the common public of India by two ministers, one education minister and another is a labor and employment minister. But this report is compiled by, created by World Bank. That's why it become very important. That's why it become the very crucial news for the exam point of view. Now, the basic information, which is static information, which is mentioned over here, date and the venue is being mentioned. Obviously, it is not that important for us. First of all, we'll see the whole name of the report. Job at your doorstep, a job diagnostics for young people in 6 states. So basically, 6 states के लिए ये report create किया गया. Now, why only 6 states? Why not other states, and why they are only focusing on these states? Because Government of India created one policy, and the name of the policy is called as a STARS. First of all, I will talk about the policy. The STARS is the name of the policy which was launched by Government of India in October 2020. So what exactly is happening? Strengthening teaching, learning and result for the state. That's the name of the policy जो 2020 में गवर्नमेंट ने लॉन्च की थी। इस पॉलिसी का मेजर फोकस ये था, इस पॉलिसी को इसलिए लॉन्च किया गया था कि स्टेट एजुकेशन की क्वालिटी इंक्रीज करनी है, स्टेट एजुकेशन को थोड़ा स्ट्रॉन्ग करना है। And this policy was implemented only for the 6 states, and the 6 states are Himachal Pradesh, Kerala, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Odisha and Rajasthan. So they focused on these 6 states. यहाँ पे vocational education, यहाँ पे skill education, यहाँ पे quality education. So that's why focusing on this STARS policy, how this policy worked, what kind of changes took place in these 6 states. Report is being created by World Bank, and that's why this report is focusing on only 6 states, and those 6 states are, I have already discussed, Himachal, Kerala, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Odisha, Rajasthan. Of course, examiner will link this report to the government scheme, and the government scheme is STARS, launched in October 2020, supported by the World Bank and focusing on vocational skill and the quality education for the 6 states. That's the only case. Now, what this report is exactly talking about? Taught in schools, aligned trades taught in school with industry-specific needs, adapting bottom-up approach tailored to district socio-economic profile. Obviously, the name of the report is Jobs at Your Doorstep. If your education is like that, if your education is focusing on these kind of factors like a certain trade, certain vocational education, so automatically jobs will be available for you. Jobs will be there for you if you have a good skill, if you have a proper skill which is required for the job description, and that is the major focus over here. Now, we have the National Education Policy which was launched in 2020. After that, STARS was announced. Then NCF, that is called National Curriculum Framework, which was in 2023, and that is also focusing on 50% student accessing skill education by 2025. So, बस इसी को ध्यान में रखते हुए, now STARS or such kind of report will give you a very good insight what exactly we should do for the rest of the country, and we can launch a proper tested policy for the whole country, and that is a major focus. So again, STARS, we talked about that. 6 states discussed that. World Bank created this report released by 2 ministers of our country. One is education minister, another is a labor and employment minister, and the focus is on the vocational and the skill education, and that's the factor regarding this news. So that was the first news, very important because government scheme was a part of that news. Now the second, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan along with the Shri JP Nadda witnesses a signing of tripartite memorandum of understanding between Education Ministry, IMS, BHU and the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. So tripartite agreement. 2 ministries are there. One is Education Ministry, another is the health ministry and one institution, that is a BHU, IMS BHU. Now, what exactly this agreement is about? Basically, BHU is having its own medical college, BHU having its own medical institution. They want to create that medical institution on par with the AIMS. Already, IMS BHU signed one agreement with AIMS Delhi, like 1 or 2 years back. They have signed one agreement with the IMS BHU signed the agreement with AIMS Delhi for the sake of what are the facilities are there in the AIMS, what are the R&D, research and development, what kind of the things are happening in the AIMS Delhi. The same kind of environment they want to create with IMS BHU. So for that purpose, they have already signed the agreement. But now the agreement is signed with the proper ministry. So education ministry, obviously, we need to work on that education part because it's finally a Banaras Hindu University. And the second is the health ministry because the medical things are there, that the health related things are there. So यहाँ पे एक question exam में जरूर बनेगा. Institute of Medical Sciences, which is a very famous college from the BHU. And now remember that when it comes to India, when it comes to our country, whenever government of India wants to create a medical colleges, whenever government of India wants to create a medical facility like AIMS, especially like AIMS, we have one scheme, and the name of the scheme is Pradhan Mantri Swasthya Suraksha Yojana. In 2003, we launched this scheme called as the Pradhan Mantri Swasthya Suraksha Yojana. So on line of that scheme, on focusing on that particular scheme, the help is being given to the IMS BHU or will be provided to the IMS BHU in future. So again, whenever they will ask the question, how many AIMS are there or AIMS will be created depending on which of the following scheme of government of India. The scheme is here, Pradhan Mantri Swasthya Suraksha Yojana. Recently, you might have like heard or हमने भी discuss किया था that in Bihar, AIMS Darbhanga is coming. So AIMS Darbhanga, which was in news recently, again is created through this policy called as a Pradhan Mantri Swasthya Suraksha Yojana, which was launched in year 2003. We'll go to the policy once. So this is a policy under the Health and Family Welfare Ministry. Now, whatever the new aims they want to set, so all that part is here. What kind of facilities should be there, that is also mentioned here. So same kind of facilities will be created in IMS BHU, that is the focus. Now, according to the scheme, because the scheme is being dedicated for the aims, so we have total 22 new aims which has been announced under this scheme. Out of which 6 are already functional, 16 more aims approved by the cabinet. That is another factor which is mentioned over here by the government of India. That's it. That's all about this scheme. That is all about the tripartite agreement between the IMS BHU, Education Ministry as well as the Health Ministry. That's it. We'll go to the next question. Next news. Like I have mentioned earlier, this IMS BHU already signed one agreement with the AIMS Delhi, and the agreement was signed in 2018. It is just a complementary part. You need not to worry about the question or oriented approach for this pointer. You can just skip it. आप इसको skip कर सकते हैं. Okay. हम आगे बढ़ेंगे. This is a big news. This is an important news. First of all, if we talk about the current affairs, we will talk about the phase 1 of the RBI Grade B. So simple question can be asked, which of the following is the first municipal corporation of India where we created the first modern self-sufficient Gaushala with state-of-art compressed biogas. So Gwalior Municipal Corporation having their huge Gaushala, which is carried out by the municipal corporation itself. Municipal corporation खुद उसे चलाती है, उसके operations handle करती है. इस गौशाला को self sufficient बना दिया है, इस गौशाला को first modern self sufficient गौशाला में convert कर दिया, because depending on that गौशाला they created a compressed biogas plant. You can see over here, this is a photo है, ये compressed biogas plant बनाया गया. West to wealth वाला concept हमारे पास है, उसके भरोसे. Now, if we think about the phase 2, or we'll think about the overall other exams also, why it is so important? Because many of the times students will only think about the one liner, like Gwalior is the first municipal corporation, then we'll forget it. For this West to wealth or for this compressed biogas plant, we have one scheme called as a Govardhan. Govardhan is the name of the scheme, and under that scheme, this development is being done by the Gwalior Municipal Corporation, and that's why we need to focus a little bit about this particular factor. First of all, it was recently inaugurated by the government of India on the vision of Prime Minister of India, that is West to Wealth. That is the main initiative. Now Gaushala they have under the Gwalior Municipal Corporation, near about 10,000 cattle are there. Now depending on that, those cattle and the cow dung or the cattle dung and the waste, near about 100 tons is being collected by them from this Gaushala as well as from different homes, and they are creating 2 to 3 tons of bio CNG daily, 10 to 15 tons of bio manure daily for the organic farming. This is the big thing. This is literally a very big scenario. In India, we want about the natural farming. We talked about the natural farming. On daily basis, some or the other government entity, department, minister, or even the prime minister is talking about the natural farming. And for that natural farming, if we are getting the fertilizers through such kind of sources, it will be really very helpful. Now, what is happening? If this bio CNG structure become more successful because it is giving the energy as well as fertilizer, so other farmers or the other villages also think about that, which will double the income of the farmers, because farmers mostly having the cattle, they can use their cow dung, they can use the waste material, and every village in India can create the energy and can create these fertilizers. It will be really very helpful, and that's why this kind of example should be promoted, should be famous. Even while writing the answers, if there is some question regarding renewable energy, if there is question regarding the energy crisis in India, we definitely can use this. Even if there is a question related to the air pollution, which is especially happening in the North India due to stubble burning, we can use this example there, because all those waste can be used in the compressed biogas plant, which can be converted into energy as well as a fertilizer. So this is the best example right now for many kind of problems which we are facing in India, especially when it comes to climate change. So that's the factor. Now, when it comes to this particular initiative, this initiative comes under one government scheme, and the government scheme is called as a Gobardhan. Gobardhan is the name of the government scheme. We'll talk about Gobardhan. Gobardhan के ऊपर भी एक बार बात कर लेते, because it is really very important for the exam point of view. I guess we are facing some issues over here. Okay, not an issue. Okay, so Gobardhan is the government of India's policy. Under this policy, government of India is promoting, जैसे यहाँ पे mention किया गया, कचरे से कंचन, means we want to create the wealth. Wealth creation is the main approach over here, and that should be the focus for the exam point of view. That will be enough. Okay, I'll move forward. We'll go to the next news, and the next news is very simple. Armenia joined the International Solar Alliance as a 104th full member. International Solar Alliance was created in 2015 on the sideline of the Paris conference, for the environment conference. So on that sideline, the government of India and the French government together created this concept called as the International Solar Alliance. India, of course, being a very important country in this solar alliance, so headquarters is in India. Ashish Khanna sir will become the new head of International Solar Alliance, which was recently discussed. Now, recently International Solar Alliance का एक conference India में भी organize किया गया था, and some countries joined International Solar Alliance as a full member, and one of the countries Armenia. So Armenia, they decided to join this solar alliance. So obviously ये question है जो exam के लिए बन सकता है. Now, ISA, the treaty-based international intergovernmental organization, aims to mobilize $100 billion in investment needed by 2030 for widespread use of the solar energy. So that is the target of this International Solar Alliance. Especially सूर्यपुत्र देश या सनशाइन कंट्रीज जो ट्रॉपिक्स में आती है, ट्रॉपिकल एरिया में आती है, उन कंट्रीज के सोलर एनर्जी प्रोडक्शन को डेवलप करने के लिए ये ग्रुप क्रिएट किया गया. India is a major country over here. Obviously, 104 full-time members are there. When it comes to Armenia, you can see the map over here. Erevan is the capital and dram is the currency of this country. Very famous country. This country is neighboring to Azerbaijan, and Azerbaijan, Baku, where environment conference of this year was organized. We'll go to the next, and this next is really very important. Today itself we discussed this in the current affairs lecture, and the news is the Ab Koi Bahana Nahi is the name of the campaign started by the Women and Child Development Minister of India, Annapurna Devi ji. Now, what is this campaign? UN Women, whose headquarters is in New York, they started one campaign called as a No Excuse. The campaign was for domestic violence, to stop the domestic violence, a gender-based violence all over the world. They started one campaign called as a no excuse. The same campaign is being converted and renamed as Ab Koi Bahana Nahi in our country. So right now, Government of India, till the next month, till the 10th of the next month, this campaign will be there all over India, especially to stop the gender violence, to stop the domestic violence in our country. So awareness program will be launched. When it comes to social issue part, this is a very important news for us, really very important. So we need to focus in that angle. We'll go to the news, we'll go to the PIB section, we'll go through that once. So Women and Child Development Ministry is very clear name and the name of the campaign. Now there is another campaign along with this, and this campaign is called as a Nai Chetna 3.0, and this campaign is also focusing on the same purpose. Nai Chetna is under Rural Development Ministry, whereas Ab Koi Bahana Nahi is a campaign under the Women and Child Development Ministry. So two ministries are working here, and both the ministries are focusing on this gender-based violence or to stop the domestic violence, and that is a major focus. Again, UN Women is the main authority. Now this campaign is started from 25th of November. The reason is that because the International Day for Elimination of Violence Against Women ये 25th of November को होता है, तो इसकी शुरुआत इसलिए आज से की गई. The campaign will be till the 10th of December, because 10th of December is called as a Human Rights Day. So that's why this campaign is being is started like that. So UN Women is involved, the United Nations is involved. The two ministries of Government of India is dedicatedly working on this. Now, Rural Development Ministry said that not only there and Women and Child Development Ministry, there will be other 7 ministries and department are going to work with the Government of India for Nai Chetna as well as Ab Koi Bahana Nahi. तो ये भी एक factor है जो exam के लिए जरूरी होगा. I will show you that news also. Just one sec. Okay, this is the news. यूनियन मिनिस्टर श्री शिवराज सिंह चौहान लॉन्च नई चेतना 3.0 के पहल बदलाव की नेशनल कैंपेन अगेंस्ट जेंडर बेस्ड वायलेंस ऑन 25th of November. So two ministries directly involved, like I have mentioned. Now again, the Rural Development Ministry said there are other ministries they are going to participate. So two ministries are already there. Other 7 ministries will be the part of this. Then now under Rural Development Ministry there is scheme called as a Deen Dayal Antyodaya National Rural Livelihood Mission, which was originally launched in 2011. So under this scheme, by using this scheme or under the aegis of this scheme, this Nai Chetna 3.0 is being started. This campaign is being started by the Rural Development Ministry. That's it. Now again, for the social issues, this is really very important, very crucial. Sometimes the RBI students, sometimes the regulatory body students take it very casually. Don't do that, because it's an important factor for the exam. Now we'll see another news. ISA Global Cooperative Conference is being started from today itself, 25th to 30th of November. This conference will be in New Delhi, called as a Global Cooperative Conference. So this conference is happening in India, and that's why a question will be asked. Now International Cooperative Alliance ICA, जिनके अंडर इसे ऑर्गेनाइज किया जा रहा है, ICA was originally launched in 1895 in London. India is having cooperative ministry. Amit Shah sir is a cooperative minister. So under his leadership, under his ministry, this conference will be organized in India for 5 days. So it's very important, very crucial. So theme of this conference will be cooperative build prosperity for all is the theme. We'll see whenever the conference, what are the discussions will be there, what kind of policies will be there. We'll talk about that in our regular sessions. So we'll wait for it, what kind of discussions they are going to or it's going to happen in this particular. Okay, now the next news, the last 2 news we are going to discuss now. India's first AI data bank launched to boost the national security is a very important news. National security, cyber security is very much in news these days. From the last 1.5 months, we are talking continuously about the security issues, especially focusing on digital scenario. Now, Science and Technology Ministry launch a kind of a data set based on the AI. So India's first AI data bank is launched by the minister over here. So it's a really very important. So यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा ध्यान देते हैं, यहाँ पे थोड़ा काम करते हैं. The first AI data bank launched by the Union Minister of Science and Technology Jitendra Singh, the 7th edition in the ASSOCHAM leadership meet. A simple question, which minister will be involved, and this data bank will be helpful because we are going to collect all types of data which will be important for the security, and by using AI, by using the AI tools, we will segregate them. We are going to find out the things So whatever cyber securities or any kind of security issues can be easily solved. Again, the ministry will not be the home ministry. Usually for the security purpose, the home ministry is working, but for when it comes to this kind of news, यहाँ पे साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी मिनिस्ट्री है, तो ये भी एक फैक्टर यहाँ पे याद रखना. Enhance national security through real-time analysis of satellite, drone and IoT data. ये major focus यहाँ पे mention किया गया है, ये ध्यान रखना. When it comes to ASSOCHAM is the Associated Chambers of Commerce and Industry, is a group of Indian institution. It was created in 1920 and Sanjay Nair sir is the head right now of ASSOCHAM, जिसके साथ मिलके इसे create किया गया. The last news, but at the same time very important news, because the first time in India we created one antibiotic and the name of the antibiotic is nafithromycin. So that's why question can be asked. For the first time in India we created ourselves or we invented ourselves one antibiotic is a big thing. Otherwise antibiotics or the medicines are usually discovered by the Western companies or the Western countries, and then India is manufacturing them only. Usually what happens, India's pharmaceutical sector is completely depending or completely based on the research done by the Western countries. But now if we are doing some research and we are manufacturing it also, it's a very big thing. Now penicillin group is very famous for as an antibiotic. Alexander Fleming for the first time invented the penicillin group, due to which the bacterial infections can be easily killed. So on the same basis, this nafithromycin, so it is created, and this particular is useful for the treating pneumonia. So pneumonical infections के लिए. अब यहाँ पे ध्यान दीजिएगा. Now the company which is helpful to create it is called as the Volcard is the name of the company, and the brand name for this medicine is Micunaf. Okay, Micunaf is the name of the brand, because obviously medicines are sold depending on the brand name. That is a concept over here. So one institution called as a Biotechnology Industry Research Assistance Council, BIRAC, that is under Science and Technology, was responsible for this particular initiative. So these were the important news. These were the important factors in the last week's PIB or the PIB. There are some other articles which I have already added over here in this particular presentation, which I will share on our Telegram channel. Okay, so that's all guys from my side for the day. That's all for the PIB revision or the PIB news. That's all. We'll see you in the next news. Till that time, bye bye. Take care.